Should be. I think it is for me.
Okay, we got both of our rows assigned now, and they're up there on the screen. So Dingus is going to be forced to do bottom left to top right. Going through, he's going to have to collect all the 60 Brinstar missiles, defeat Sports Bomb and Botwin, which means trip into Meridia. Collecting only one of area or gravity, which means Dingus is going to have to collect Gravity Pursuit if he wants to have any sort of recollection of a good time. And Meridia, 15 Power Bombs, and collecting only one of Speed Booster or Gravel Beam. It's not a very scary row, I have to say. It's pretty straightforward, and the question now is, can Dingus find something that will synergize well with it?
Well, again, looking at it, because both of them have been given, either the top left, the bottom right, and the bottom left, the top right, one of the best ways for them to help each other out is to legit look across the rows and see if anything helps line up. In this case, for Dingus, one little shot that might be, useful to help him out, because he already has to go to Wreck Ship, is to get all the Wreck Ship super missiles in row 3 and do row 3 across. Be a little bit out of the way for Crocomire, but he still already has to go down into Meridia, so getting Space Jump won't be too much of an issue. He'll just have to knock off Dragon, which can be done really quick and easy, because he can get Speed Booster and, can Speed Boost into him, or he could sacrifice Speed Booster and get Grapple Beam and fry him. There are very many open opportunities to take what they've been given and turn it into something very good for themselves.
Trying to look to see what I would pick if I were Dingus right now, myself. Probably the entire card, if I had to guess.
So far, both our racers are neck and neck coming out of getting Morph Ball. They're both cutting down to get the first missile. And this is where we usually see a lot of people deviate their runs a bit. Some people will go and get the next missile in the other room. Other people will turn up the stairs, up the elevator, and turn on the planet and start planning out their run from there. This is really where some of the most deciding factors came into play, because most people either came to a stop and thought about what they're doing, or have gone bombarding through everything not thinking.
See, Abortion Shark deciding to pick up these missiles early, which kind of hints that he's not going to come back here, because if you're going to come back here, you want to pick up those missiles right now, and you would pick them up later. And personally, think that for Dingus, column 2 wouldn't be that bad either. If he decides to pick up Speed Booster, then skipping Ice Beam is really easy, and you don't want to skip High Jump anyway. So that would be a route to go with that. Skipping Wave Beam, you don't really need Wave Beam for anything he's doing. It does make Bot Wound, a little more difficult since you can't X Factor him, but that's not a big deal at all. You just substitute with the missiles and super missiles to cause for the damage. The North Area Reserve tank would probably be the easiest of all those to pick up in the process there.
Considering he doesn't have to finish in the wrecked ship energy tank room, the northern one would definitely be the closer one, so that could help him out in the end too. For Abortion Shark, on the other hand, that would be sort of helpful and sort of painful all at the same time, but, Column 2 could be a good compliment for him as well.
Yeah, Abortion Shark's kind of stuck in a weird place here. He does have to finish the wreck ship energy tank room, which means he has to kill Phantoon at some point. However, I'm looking at the card and I'm thinking to myself, maybe there's possible to pick a row where he doesn't even have to pick up Gravity Suit. That literally the wreck ship is the last place he goes. And so if you look at the card and you eliminate all the things that absolutely require Gravity Suit, and you pick up only Varia and you do a Varia Lava Dive to get to Golden Chorizo, that might end up being pretty fast if you can pull it off.
Well, where Abortion Shark does have to actually, go about and do that, one of the good options he could do is, with Column 1, he already has to fully explore Wreck Ship for when he finishes in the energy room, so that could be the last thing he does. He has to destroy the one statue, so he could indeed, opt to skip, like you say, gravity and do a lava dive, so he can get the plus energy tanks to, have that buffer to get through the lava dive so he can get down the Golden Chorizo. So he could make Phantoon his, final stop before heading to the energy tank, making sure he clears out everything else, too. I mean, with some careful planning and some practice, you don't really need 8 energy tanks to do a lava dive. If you're good and you save it beforehand, and you know the exact spots to land in and the exact timing to do it, 7 energy tanks will be enough, so you could literally save the wreck ship energy tank as the last energy tank you need.
To perform a lava dive, you technically only need, assuming you have high jump boots, you technically only need 1 E-tank. It can be done with that little amount of energy. If you do without high jump, you do need at least 2 E-tanks. However, that doesn't make it risky, of course. In a race like this, you definitely want more E-tanks for that little safety buffer, because if you do something wrong or you must screw something up, you're going to die in lava dive, if you only have the 1 or 2 E-tanks.
Great example of that mistake coming into play of having low energy. We've had 3 races that I've seen so far that, 3 separate people attempted to do a hell run. There was only one person that really thought ahead of time on this one. Shout out to White Mage Becky on this one. She actually planned ahead to get enough energy she needed to do the run, so that way she wouldn't end up dying midway through, because a lot of the racers were trying to do it, and they ended up, shooting themselves in the foot because they did not have enough energy, and they would make it to almost the end of the room and then just completely wipe because they'd either fall in the lava or they get shot, and just things went completely wrong.
So right now you see both of our runners kind of doing a lot of the same thing. Abortion Shark's up to 25 missiles now, both runners picking up all the missiles here in green Brinstar Reserve area. And I'm kind of curious what rows they were going to actually pick. You see Dingus going up to Spore Spawn here right away, so he's not coming back to this area, you would imagine. Maybe he won't. Maybe he thinks it's faster to do it now. Abortion Shark's still coming through, though. So our counts right now is Dingus has 20 missiles, Abortion Shark has 25. Both players opting to skip the Brinstar Reserve, so that's not an important item to either of them. And Abortion Shark also going up to Spore Spawn here.
Interesting note that they're both choosing to do Spore Spawn, which they both have enough to do the skip, but, again, they do have to, take them out in order to do some things, so they could very well both be thinking, hey, row 4 is my ticket.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen a race where both players were fighting Spore Spawn at the same time. I mean, this mini-boss already doesn't get any love. He is technically DLC content. But it's very interesting to see Spore Spawn on both screens at the same time. This pretty much never happens.
Yeah, usually by this point in time, the first person in Brinstar, pretty much decides how the pace is gonna go until, the last second where everyone's like, yeah, surprise! So this is interesting, I'm not used to seeing, two players going head to head, and Spore Spawn is both what they're doing.
Now, while both players have to kill Spore Spawn, what differs after that is we have Abortion Shark's still going to have to kill Golden Chorizo, and Dingus is going to have to kill Botwound. And so it's funny that they're both forced. They both have to kill Spore Spawn, but the other mini boss they have to kill is different. It looks like Dingus is opting to go back down. Not interested in going to pick up the supers, not because I wonder if he plans on needing them, or if he just doesn't want to bother dealing with that. I'm not sure. Abortion Shark opting to do the same thing. Are we sure we're not like restreaming the same stream right now? Are we sure that's the case?
Like, seriously, like, they've had, well, the only difference we can tell in the accounts there is, Abortion Shark has 22 missiles versus, Little Dingus carrying 2 at the moment, and Little Dingus has just a little bit more energy than Abortion Shark, so there's the one difference, and their timers are different, so otherwise, I'd say this looks like a very mirror image about 5 seconds apart from what they're doing.
Alright, Dingus working on wall jumping up to get these missiles. This will put Dingus at 25. Abortion Shark picking up Charge Beam. Abortion Shark did not pick up those missiles above there, did he? He did not. There he goes. He's picking them now. So it puts Abortion Shark at 30 missiles. And Dingus at 30 as well. Wait. Yes, that's right. I already proved myself this morning in the commentators chat that I already can't count, so I have to check myself.
Hey man, that's understandable. I've had moments where I can't even count myself because their missile counts are so off. So it looked like Abortion Shark took a moment to sit there and think, and he's now going to backdoor Spospo. The thought process behind that is a little bit beyond me, where he was already in the room, but, hey, maybe it's quicker for him to do it this way. Meanwhile, Little Dingus is heading down the hill, got the missiles off in the side pipe.
That's going to put Dingus at 35 missiles. All of those are Brinstar missiles.
So Little Dingus is the first one to make it to Red Tower. It looks like he's going to start by going up Red Tower. Meanwhile, Abortion Shark just got the backup supers behind Spospo, and is now going to make his way that direction as well.
As I was saying earlier, I fully expect Dingus to be going in Wreck Ship early to pick up the Gravity Suit, kill Phantoon early on. He's pretty much forced because of the fact that he is forced to kill Botwound, that he has no choice but to make an appearance in Meridia. So having Gravity Suit will pretty much make it a requirement unless he wants to make his life, well, painful, in more or less words.
While it is physically possible to, if he got, Ice Beam and planned it carefully, he could jump his way through Meridia without gravity, but it would be a very big, painful waste of time and not something that's recommended. Suitless underwater, unless you know what you're doing, is not a recommended route because you can spend a lot of time down there without gravity suit getting completely lost.
Yeah, and the only time it's really worth it, going deep into Meridia with that gravity suit, it's just not going to be worth it ever in a race like this. However, if you're doing something simple like purely picking up the Meridian map stations, that might actually, in fact, be worth it if you can skip gravity suit altogether that way.
True, because all you have to do is go through Wreck Ship and use the back door that way, because then you can follow the path and you'll be sent to the map station automatically through the pathing that it makes you go. So that's not a bad thing.
And the issue with taking the Forgotten Highway, though, without gravity that way is you come into the sand area, and that's very perilous without gravity suit, without high jump, you can easily get stuck and have a bad time. But going in through the tube, though, and then going up and opening the red door is really straightforward. You
So
see Dingus here saving before going up to wreck ship, and he is at 40 Bryn Star Supers.
not a bad idea, because this is where most people start to have their troubles. He's gonna try to probably do a CWJ because he does not have speed booster or high jump, so there's a good chance he'll spend a little bit of time, if he does not get it the first time, trying to nail it, so it could be a little bit troublesome. Meanwhile, at the moment, Abortion Shark is heading to Crane and hopefully can get the quick kill here.
Unfortunately, Abortion Shark missing the quick kill, but this is highlighting a lot of what I was talking about with Abortion Shark. What he might end up doing is it's certainly possible to, with the row he's been given, certainly possible to only pick up various suit and complete his race that way, as long as he finds another row that does not require any of the goals require a gravity suit. And so that seems to be what he's doing, because there's no real other reason to fight Kraid right now apart from picking up various suit. And Ding is trying to get the double bomb jump over the moat. Not sure how well versed he is in that.
Dingus here, messing up his timing just a little bit. This is going to cost him a little bit of slowdown, but if you can get across this quickly enough, almost had it that time, if you can get across this quickly enough, he can get back onto the track where he needs to be, so that way he can continue to, keep a solid pace. Meanwhile, now, Abortion Shark just got Kraid's energy tank, is on his way out of there. What he's going to plan to do next, I'm not 100% sure, but Norfair is definitely in his future.
I believe Abortion Shark's at 30 missiles, if I recall correctly.
For those that thought that the Hell Runs was a test of patience, this CWJ is definitely the biggest test of patience, because you can often end up wasting too much time trying to do this. This is not turning out good for Dingus.
If you're not comfortable with CWJ, you can end up spending a lot of time here, and this is not the first time in these races that we've seen a runner spend a lot of time. You see Dingus right there. He got the first jump. The first jump is a 1 frame leeway. That is 1 frame, 1/60th of a second. The second jump is more convenient in the fact that you have a 2 frame window to hit that jump. Unfortunately, you have to hit both, one then after the other, to perform this trick successfully.
So from what I can tell and notice, because I've never done this myself personally, it looks like Dingus is going back just too much to start the door transition, because I noticed that most people who end up pulling it off have themselves just a hair before the transition and then proceed to try to do the jump. He seems to keep accidentally pushing himself out a little bit too far, so I don't know if that's intentional or if that's just him messing up his timing.
I think what that is, he's unsure of how far into the door to go. He thinks he can go another pixel, so he tries to, and he ends up going through the door transition. Overall, it is faster if you can turn yourself around in the last pixel that you can go into the door, and then turn yourself around without moving yourself back towards the moat. That is a faster way to set up a door transition there. Dingus did that perfectly right there and got the CWJ. That's exactly the sort of setup that you want to see for somebody not having to go through the door transition to set themselves up correctly in the door back for the CWJ. Because if you go through the door transition, you do have to endure the 5 to 6 seconds of door transition time, definitely a lot longer than if you're able to get in the door, turn around without having to go through the transition.
So now Little Dingus is going to be on his way to fight Fantine. Meanwhile, Abortion Shark now just made it up Bubble Mountain very flawlessly, is now going to go get Speed Booster. So he's probably going to opt out grapple beam.
Do not blame him at all. I definitely do not. I'm not. From my perspective, grapple beam is not an interesting item at all, unless I'm killing Dragon. Even then, depends what else I'm picking up. Speed booster is just such a nice item to have in so many different ways. So I can't fault him at all for picking up speed booster and skipping grapple.
So there is a good thought that, he could be doing row 1 there, but also something else that might, benefit him too, noticing this too. He could go down and do column 3, because if in fact he does this, on his way back through downward, he could go through Gauntlet and, help pack up some more missiles. So that could actually help Abortion Shark out in the end. As long as he gets the map station on the way out of here, we'll know for sure what his thoughts are.
Dingus taking a lot of damage during this Fantoon fight. Fantoon's about halfway dead. Unfortunately, Dingus is more than halfway dead. I hope he plays it safer.
Thankfully, he did save, but he needs to be a little bit more careful here, because Fantoon is definitely going to end up claiming his life.
And there it goes. Unfortunately, Dingus ended up dying to Fantoon resetting so he can reload his save. That's going to cost him a lot of time. And he'll have to do CWJ all over again.
Well, I gotta say, that's not the first time I started to say something and it actually happened.
Dingus saying you win in the race channel, even though he has not forfeited at this point. He's still going, but he's mentally acknowledging that he's probably lost this race, but we don't know that for sure. Abortion Shark could still die in this lava dive.
Indeed, Abortion still has to actually make it through this. And did he indeed grab high jump?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so even though he does have high jump, he's going to have one unfortunate trouble. Yeah. What are those things called again?
I'm sorry, what called again?
The stupid things on the wall, the faces.
There's two of them. I can never remember which is which. There's one is called a Fune, and I can't remember what the other one is called. But one is destructible, and the other one is not. And these ones in the lava dive room are not destructible at all. In fact, the only thing you can ever do to them is freeze them, assuming you have plasma beam. Also, Abortion Shark realizing an error here. He's going to do the lava dive, but he has no power bombs to get even into the lava dive room with. So that's a big setback. He's going to have to... The closest power bombs at this point are Crocomire. So unless he wants to go all the way back up the Red Tower, which would be a huge backtrack, his best bet to get power bombs might be to go kill Crocomire right now.
Well, he definitely does have enough firepower to do so. I mean, he does have charge and spacer, so that helps. He also has a lot of missiles and supers, so he could combo them together to push him back real fast. So, also, gate glitching's not too bad to do, especially if you know the timing. So, he's got a lot of missiles to do that. So, it's just down to getting the timing in and then just pretty much pushing Crocomire back. And where he does have speed booster, he could just, shoot himself halfway across the room and say ta-da.
And you see the Abortion Shark getting the gate glitch on the third try, I think it was there. The third or fourth try, he's got it pretty easily. The gate glitch is something that's works on green gates and blue gates alike, but the gate has to be facing in that direction. There's a couple exceptions, or at least there's one exception that we are aware of in Pink Prince Star, but generally speaking, that specific gate glitch can be done on any gate facing the left. See, Dingus going over here, picking up some more power bombs. Or not power bombs, missiles. Abortion Shark quickly dispatching Crocomire, picking up this E-Tank, because why not? We'll see how this Fantoon fight goes with Dingus.
Hopefully for Little Dingus here, he can actually get a couple quick patterns in and does not get Sunrise surprised. So here's hoping things go good for him.
What was that you were saying about Commentator's Curse?
Yeah, I should learn to shut up.
Shoutouts to Epically Epic.
Like seriously, the problem with that one, and most importantly, it's like for all the Hellrun ones, it's I go to make something about it, and sure enough, everyone just keeps dying to it.
It's, I think
Like
it's getting a mid right off the bat there. Abortion Shark getting his power bombs. Dingus opting to enrage Fantoon instead of having to deal with this pattern. This is actually probably not a bad idea from Dingus's perspective. He's not familiar, and he may not be familiar enough with Fantoon's patterns to know exactly how to bob in and out and weave around Fantoon to avoid taking damage. So just taking supers to Fantoon's face early on to avoid having to deal with dancing around Fantoon. Oh no, Dingus, please don't. Okay, Dingus is starting to give me a little bit of a heart palpitation here. He's got plenty of health now. He can take 3 hits without dying. You want to see Abortion Shark now has his power bombs. He's working his way back towards the lava dive. Fantoon is very close to dead.
Dingus sort of messing up that little bit of a round there. He could have finished Fantoon in that round, but he accidentally made it misfire, so. Dingus opting to do a pseudo screw during that opening of the eye. Very smart choice. Helps save a little bit of life. Right now he's unfortunately using his missiles to shoot down the fireballs. Bit of a weird strat, but sort of working for him.
Dingus puts 3 missiles into Fantoon, still not dead. Very low life here. As a reminder that Fantoon will deal 40 damage with the flames or himself without any suits on Samus. He's really got to watch himself. Fantoon is almost dead though. 3 more
and
missiles.
On the buzzer beater.
Dies. Dang. That was very close. Very clutch. But we're all fine. Everyone's fine, right? Everyone's fine. All right, Abortion Shark coming back. Let's see how he does this lava dive. Gets that jump through the door a little low, but it would have worked. However, he needs to turn off Speed Booster before he does this. For some reason, the Speed Booster physics in lava really make this a lot harder. And I can definitely tell that he had Speed Booster on based on how he came out the other side of the door. And the fact that he cannot maintain his momentum from bouncing in a ball form. So here he goes with lava dive. Got to be a little ginger here. Oh, missing the wall jump. I hope Abortion Shark saved. He still has plenty of health, assuming he doesn't get hit. Oh, missing the wall jump again. He's got to go back now. Or he's just going to stand there and die.
He realized that he had no way out of that one because he was going to end up getting sniped. So unfortunately, Abortion Shark taking the down. Hopefully he did to save. At the same time, I'm hoping Little Dingus actually went and did save after Fantoon because he only has 74 energy. And he's coming up to a hallway of death. So he has to be very careful because there are people who had unfortunate mishaps up here as well.
I think he's taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately, Abortion Shark has completely giving up, officially forfeiting in the race channel and leaving the race channel, so it doesn't seem there's going to be any persuading here, so it's now just up to Dingus to finish. I think Dingus is going back down to save. Is that what I'm seeing? Yep.
Okay. Now I can breathe a little bit easier now that Dingus at least saved. Like that's one of the scariest things about this run is a lot of people, especially those who are still like up in racing, will forget that, they haven't saved at all. And I know I've done this before myself. Like I've done like, any percent races against people. I've done, randomizer races against people. And the one biggest oops I'll ever make is like I'll get something stupid, like I'll get to Mother Brain, and it's like I'm doing so good. And then I take the red orbs of death to the face too much, and then I realize, oh crap, I don't have Varia. Oh double crap, my reserve's empty. Ah crap, I'm dead all around. And then it's, oh my god, I never saved once.
Dingus just deciding that he's dead before the Kai Hunter kills him, so resets anyway. So I'm glad he's saved.
Just to recap for people that are wondering what happened to Abortion Shark, apparently did not save prior to doing his lava dive. We don't know the last time he saved. Started to attempt the lava dive and unfortunately did not get enough love in the last steps of it, and realizing he could not get out in time, opted to take the down instead. And then he realized he didn't save, so he has officially forfeited and gone to bed. This is a nice and gentle reminder from all of us that racing is good, but sleep is important as well. Don't overtire yourself.
Alright, Attic, round 3. So see, Dingus going in here to the second worst room in the game, as some people have called it. And I'm unsure if he's here to pick up missiles or pick up... No, he's here to pick up missiles because he picked up the missiles on this left side of Wreck Ship coming in before he got to Fantoon, so he wants to collect all 15 Wreck Ship missiles. Which would seem to imply that he might be, in fact, doing column 2.
As we thought, kind of makes sense there too, because you already have to kill Botwoon, you already killed Sposbo, so why not?
Why not?
Now he just needs to get to Gravity and survive bowling here, and he'll be semi-golden. Now, just to recap, to verify the completion of the 15 missiles, where are the 3 missiles in Wreck Ship that you must collect, Straveris?
So you have 3 packs of missiles. You have 1 pack that is on the left side as you're going down to kill Fantoon. Then you have the other pack in the top right of the Wreck Ship in the Work Robot room that we just saw Dingus pick up. And the last pack's going to be here to the right of Gravity Suit, where you would go to charge up your speed booster. There's a little Chozo statue sitting there holding missiles, and you can bomb him away to charge up speed booster to go get the Wreck Ship reserve tank.
So literally 2 birds, 1 stone by taking the best optimal path to do this.
Yes. Now, he's not going to be able to pick up the Wreck Ship reserve tank, because that requires speed booster to get. So I'm pretty sure that if he's doing column 2, he's still going to opt for the North Air reserve tank. I think he's taking his 3 hits there.
Very shaky 3 hits.
Yes. Those spikes are no joke. They deal 60 damage, and you can get across them by only getting hit twice, as you see regularly in the new route any percent runs. But if you're not versed in how to do that, then you can easily take 3 hits, especially if you mess up.
Now, my one question for those that actually have, speed booster, is it possible to do a 3 stutter step and shoot yourself across bowling?
You're talking about charging up on the rooms before?
Yep.
Yes, that's done. That was actually done regularly in the old route, and still is by old route players. They'll do probably, some players do stutter steps, some don't. It depends on the player and how they have things set up. There's a lot of different ways to get that shine spark there. But yeah, that's a regular strat for people to shine spark across the bowling room there to the statue.
So, noticing some people in chat here, one comment in particular that I'm sort of laughing at. Auntie Aaron, not Auntie Aaron, where is it? Lynn X says, watching Little Dingus is stressing me out too much. I gotta admit, watching Little Dingus play is making me a little worried too. Just, he's taken a lot of high risk, low reward attempts here. Some of them have worked out, others have been not so favorable.
I am so glad he missed that fish. Offhand, I can't remember how much damage that fish would have dealt to him, but it's at least 10.
It would have been either enough to kill him or enough to put him in critical condition to be touched by these key hunters out here. Also to note, this crab could also have killed him too, but thankfully they dropped energy and power bombs.
When your opponent is forfeited, it's time to get risky. That's, yeah.
I gotta disagree with that one. Like, if your opponent has forfeited, if you don't have time to finish, you would want to back yourself up a little bit instead of going for, the high risk, low reward things. Because if they're not going to continue and they've opted to, stop, you should take yourself back a little bit. I know you're trying to beat a buzzer timer for your own sake, but if you're not racing anyone else but the timer, and you're still like in a tourney like this, take your time and breathe. Don't be stupid.
I'm going back and thinking about all the missiles that Dingus has, and I believe he's sitting at 55 missiles. Because he came in a wreck ship with 40, and he picked up all 15 in wreck ship.
So yeah, that would put him at 55 if he had 40 prior to that event.
So now, Dingus has only 20 more Brinstar missiles to pick up. He's going to pick up 15 of those right now in Retro Brinstar, or Bloom Brinstar, some to call it. Then his last 5 are going to be over in Kraid's area, in the warehouse.
The one thing that's curious to me, just personally curious to me, he's opting to go the back door versus go around to say, Gauntlet and stuff and, collect that and get those missiles to help him out too. But he's opting to go through the back door here, not having Wave Beam. He does manage to get the gate glitch. He still doesn't have high jump as far as I remember. So,
He hasn't even been to Norfair yet, so he has no Norfair items whatsoever.
This is a very interesting strategy.
The missiles up in Gauntlet are Criteria missiles, and if Dingus is doing Column 2, then there's no reason for him to pick up more missiles than he needs. He even opting to skip those power bombs because he's not planning on doing them.
A little weird considering he's low on power bombs, so he's gonna end up wasting, one to open up this spot here, and then he has to use, perfect timing to either, get himself into a ball to use, morph ball bombs when he gets to the top, or, if you're not careful enough, use, your last power bomb and blow up the little block way up ahead. I often find this room that Dingus is going into to be more of an underrated room because most people don't even think about it, especially when it's like in 100% run. Like most people consider this the final stop, almost to the final stop, because I don't usually see them come this way till the last second possible.
Yeah, and pretty much every 100% run that you see anymore, forever for that matter, I can't think of one this has not been the last place you go into. Why is... Okay. Dingus wants to reset the room. It's like, why are you going back? Alright, So Dingus has 75 missiles total, right? I'm sorry, 70 missiles total right now. 55 of those are Brinstar missiles. So the only missile pack he's missing for his goal and for column 1, row 5 is the Crate missiles. Now I'm a little confused as to why he's going back up here, but then again, this is Dingus. So I don't know what else to say in regards to that.
Well, this has definitely been one of the more interesting racers I've ever seen. I've never really seen someone actually opt to go back up through this direction. Like, normally you'd only see people come here through once, and the only time they come back around is if they have to collect all the criteria missiles to open up Mother Brain's whole tank. Ah, he could be opting to refill his stuff. That's a thought.
Yeah, he did just make a mention on the race chat about why he's asking why he can't count, so that very well may be the reason.
Oh, 75.
Wait, did he pick up the old Mother Brain missiles or something?
No, he has not yet.
Oh, moat missiles. Duh.
Yeah, he kind of he kind of did get stuck there for a little bit.
Yeah. I always forget that the moat missiles even exist, but I wasn't concerned about tracking criteria missiles, so I just kind of forgot about them.
So now I gotta wonder, now that he's done that, he's going back down the tower, or back down old criteria here. I don't understand.
Based on the first race I saw of Dingus, where he set the current record for the most tiles completed in a race, I'm not even going to try to understand. I'm just going to let it happen. Just let it happen.
Does he feel threatened by the fact that White Mage Becky did a triple anti-bingo run during her last race, that he has to go for, like, you know, completing almost all the tiles in the room now?
Maybe. I don't know. But he did pick up these power bombs on the way out. So that puts him at 15 power bombs. So there's another tile for him.
This guy is weird.
You have no idea.
I actually have somewhat of a clue. I'm, like, very weird by most standards to most of the Metroid construction people, so when I say this is weird, I have a good understanding of weird, my friend. You know, at this rate, I'm not surprised that Save the Animals or Kill the Animals hasn't showed up on one of the bingo cards.
Well, maybe that'll be a tile for version 6. Oh no. That's a terrible tile.
It would be. You know what would even be more terrible than that? Get killed by Mother Brain by having her land on you. Shoutouts to Desirek. That will forever be a wonderful memory.
I need to ask Desi about that one.
For those in the chat going, huh? Desirek is a runner, and one time he was sitting there doing a run. He's had 2 separate occasions. One time he blows open the tank, and Mother Brain lands directly on top of him as she's, you know, going into phase 2, and just completely squishes him outright.
I've never seen that happen before. Alright, Dingus coming up to 2 whopping E-tanks, finally getting into Norfair.
Captain Risky finally getting some health, so hallelujah. And he's now going to get high jump too. Gotta tell you, folks, this has probably been one of the more interesting things to wake up to. So now that he has high jump, he can either continue to stay here and get speed booster and some other stuff, or he can opt to go into Meridia. And he's going to go collecting.
Now, operating under the assumption, and this is quite the assumption with Dingus because you never know, but operating under the assumption that he is in fact picking column 2 to go with his forced route, it makes more sense to go through Norfair and pick up the reserve tank, pick up speed booster, come back around, then pick up the last Brinstar missile, and then go into Meridia, where the last thing he needs to do is kill Botwoon.
This is true because it was Abortion Shark that had to finish in the wreck ship energy room, so this is a thought process for Dingus.
Now, again, that's just an assumption. With Dingus, I reserved all ability to know what he's doing. So, we'll leave it at that. Dingus picking up an extra 5 missiles there. Put his total at 80.
There he is grabbing speed booster, and this is just a side funny thought. What if, for some strange reason, you actually get the craziest people in the world that want to do this, but you set it
We have
up
some
so
crazy
that way,
people.
You do your opponent's, 2 spots, the one that you gave them and the one that they're going to do, plus you do your thing, plus the one you want to do as well. So a quad anti-bingo. Do you imagine how many people would actually be trying to fly through that and set world record paces for it?
Quad anti-bingo. Oh gosh. So, the main issue I see with actually doing that though is because the bingo cards we use automatically generate 2 finish tiles every time, assuming you're doing the normal version. So unfortunately, you would have to decrease on the rule that you can't give conflicting rows. But that would be interesting.
I mean, hey, we already saw that triple anti-bingo is possible. And Dingus is racing. Right not. He's going to make this possible somehow.
Alright, so Dingus just has 2 more things to do before he finishes. Let's see if he remembers the crate missiles. Considering he has power bomb selected, I'm going to think he does not, but we'll see. Nope, there he goes.
So it looks like he's going to go off to do Botwoon first instead of going down towards Golden Chorizo. Smart choice in here. So it gives him a chance to get another energy tank, so it helps him out a bit.
Well, Abortion Shark was the one that had to go to Golden Chorizo, so Dingus doesn't have to go back in Norfair.
Now Dingus is stopped and thought about what he's doing a little bit. I think he's going to go turn around and finally get grade missiles.
There we go. He's either just realized before he went into Meridia, or he's listening to me.
Be an interesting thought process altogether.
Alright, and that's the last Brinstar missile. Putting Dingus at having a total of 85 missiles. So now all he has to do is go kill Spore Spawn, and it's gravy.
Actually, Spore Spawn's dead. He needs to go to Botwoon.
I already proved I can't map today, and I guess I'm also proving that I can't even mini boss, so that's fine.
Everyone has bad moments. Shoutouts to everyone that died 10 plus times during hell runs. Just seeing something in chat, and I wish that was a bumper sticker. I'd slap it on so many people's cards. Excuse me, cars, rather. I can't braid today. I has the dumb. What a great bumper sticker for America. So I'm starting to understand a little bit more why he gone for the extra missiles. Little Dingus could just be outright going to waste them all, trying to destroy Batoon. Because as noticed, he still has by default just the regular power beam. So, interesting thought process that he's actually made it through this entire race with just the default beam.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of shots. I don't know offhand how many shots that would be. I think 100. Just with the vanilla charge beam alone. No, 50. Weak spot when it's 3,000 health.
And Batoon goes down.
And Dingus putting dot done, finishing the race with a time of 51:55. He's doubting his count, but we know he's good. So congratulations to Little Dingus for moving on in this tournament to the next bracket in the losers round. The next round in the losers bracket. Holy cow, it is too early for me. I'm going back to bed. Bye. So that will put Dingus up against White Mage Becky next, and we'll see during this next week match against White Mage Becky versus Little Dingus.
Just a reminder for everyone else that is watching, tonight at 7 p.m., unless it gets rescheduled for some odd reason, we have Balthazar versus Feral 5X in round 3.
Did I miscount? I can't think.
No, you're fine, Dingus. You're good.
Okay.
You got all 60 Brinstar missiles.
That was it.
I was kind of wondering if you were listening to us because you went into Meridia and then turned around for the Kraid missiles when I was mentioning them.
No.
Like...
it was flashbacks to last week.
So, Dingus, I gotta ask you while you're here, is CWJ something you were confident in normally, or was that just something that's like struggling with you?
Oh no, I don't ever CWJ. I play good routes. No, I haven't really played for a little while, to be honest. It's not normally that bad. Sometimes it's worse.
Well, congrats on the win, Dingus.
What happened to Abortion Shark?
So, Abortion Shark ended up dying in a lava dive.
Oh.
And he didn't save prior to that, so the last thing he did was he picked up an extra energy tank, and then he went balls first into it, and he had 2 attempts where he was almost to the top, but didn't quite get it to pull off. And then when he realized he was at 99 health, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place because he was in the lava, and he had bullets come at him, so he had no chance to get out.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I'd see. I thought he would have taken it when I forgot how to fight Fantoon without anything. That's why I put in IRC. Is like you win.
Right. Yeah, that was the difference, that you saved but he didn't, and that made the difference in the match.
Yeah.
And according to Borscht Shark, he came in later and said that he, I guess, hadn't slept. I don't know. He's really tired. He's overexhausted. So.
Yeah, I've literally come straight from work,
Oh wow.
so I've already done.
Oh, that's right, because they decided to give you like the third and a half shift.
Oh yeah. Same again tomorrow. All week. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so tired wise, I'm probably on the same level as Abortion Shark was.
Hey, you didn't do as many cells this time. You actually only did one more than you needed, or two more. No, one more than you needed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I forgot what I was doing halfway through as well. I also forgot I needed more than 15. Well, I need 15 power bombs, and I thought I'd got a lot more. Then realised I had to go and get some.
I think Fusion was questioning why didn't you pick up the retro power bombs?
Yeah, for some reason I thought I had 20, and then realised I had half of that. These things happen to me a lot.
I'm looking for the next match between you and White Mage Becky. Should be a good one.
Yeah, I'll make sure I've got some extra gin on hand at that point.
All right, guys.
That's what I'm going to put down to the bad movement today. Lack of gin.
All right, guys. That's going to be it for the moment, anyways. For
That's
Super
gonna be me
Metroid.
for the week.
For Super Metroid, we've got one match coming up later at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. For you people on the West Coast, that's going to be 4 p.m. For you people over in Britain, like Dingus, that's going to be over. I can't.
It's going to be my bedtime. That's when it's going to be.
Yeah, I think that's midnight for them.
Oh,
so,
no, I'll be at work.
Oh yeah. So, otherwise, I'm looking at the schedule. We have 3 Metroid Fusion matches later today. One at 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and then 5:30. So a good Metroid Fusion block coming up. Be sure to come back around for those matches if you're interested in watching Metroid Fusion. But other than that, we are done for the moment. Thank you everyone for coming out and watching, and see you next mission.
I apologise for the headaches. I'll see you guys later.